we are going to be doing some practicing this week. We're going to be reviewing some things and then hopefully adding something new. So what you're going to need for this I Play, You Play video is you're going to need your mouthpiece and barrel. So if you need to pause this video, go ahead and pause it. And we are going to be trying to get a G flat. So we're going to do a little bit of I Play, You Play with this, but then you can go and go to your tuner and then check if you are getting a G flat or not. All right, so I'm going to double check that I have my G flat. And remember, reasons why we might not get G flat: we don't have enough mouthpiece in our mouth. Our chin it might be bunched up like this. But as soon as I pull my chin down and make it flat, the angle might be wrong. So those are all things to check. And it's good to go in front of the mirror and check that you have little baby dimples when you're playing. If you don't have baby dimples, then your embouchure's not firm. So remember, chapstick bottom lip, slide, teeth on top. So those are all things you can check. You can go with the tuner yourself, trying to get A flat. Check in the mirror. Check all those things, make sure G flat. We're going to do a little I Play, You Play on just our mouthpiece and barrel. If you're not matching my pitch, if it sounds a little low, then you want to make sure you make an adjustment. All right, so here I go. Down, up, ready. I play first. Here I go. Your turn. Your turn. Your turn. Very nice. Now you might have noticed the whole time, even when I was not playing, I kept my mouthpiece in the same spot. I kept my teeth on top. I used the corners of my mouth to breathe. That's all I did. Okay. Now this time we're going to do it. We're going to pay attention to our tonguing. So when we were in class, we talked about how almost the tip of our tongue touches almost the tip of our reed. So this is in our mouth. This is our tongue right here. We're going T, and we're pulling up and back. So everyone say T, T, and then you can feel the sides of your tongue and the middle of your tongue. They're actually going to go in between your molars. They're going to touch your molars. T. We're going to pull that tongue up and away. That's a really important clarinet. So when we start the note, it taps right here and pulls back. If we leave it on the reed, I can't get any sound because it's pinching. There's no vibration. So we start with it on the reed right here, pull our tongue back up. So we're thinking T. So remember, we scratched our tongue like that, and we just tap on the reed in that spot. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, we make sure we're tapping the reed and pulling back up. All right, so we're gonna try it again this time. I'm gonna start. Your foot's gonna tap with me. That's my foot tapping. All right, and we're gonna try to make sure we're getting that nice sound, but this time we are making sure we tongue. Here we go. Down, up, ready, set. Make sure your tongue's tapping and pulling back. Make sure it's almost the tip of your tongue, not the middle. Nice job. All right, for the next part of our video, and remember, you can pause anything that you want to and go back and practice. Next part of this video, you're gonna need to add your top joint to your clarinet. So I got my top joint. We know which one the top joint is because it has our bridge key. And we are gonna hold our clarinet right here. I'm gonna back up my chair just a little bit so you guys can see. And I'm gonna be playing, we're gonna be working on our first few notes. So our first note, and these notes are on page 6 of our band book, page 6. We're gonna be working on E. So E has our thumb covering the hole in the back. When I cover the hole in the back, my thumb isn't, let's see if I can turn my hand and do this. It's not going that way. It's almost up, pointed up, maybe a little bit angled. We don't want it this way because that's gonna make it really hard to play. So our thumb is gonna be kind of pointed up, almost towards the ceiling. So I'm covering my thumb and this first hole right here. Okay, remember, you can check for Cheerios. If you don't have a complete Cheerio on your fingertip, then you're not covering that hole. All right, here we go. We're gonna try E. So chapstick bottom lip, teeth on the top, slide up. That's what our E sounds like. And we wanna make sure we're starting each note with T, tapping on the reed and pulling her up and back. Not, but, is your tongue hitting here and pulling back? Remember, you can scratch the tip of your tongue. If it feels fuzzy, so then you can feel, are you actually with that part of your tongue hitting the reed? We want to hit not in the middle because it won't be as clear. So the tip of our tongue. All right. So we've got our E. We've got number 1 right here, this lovely song. We have E whole notes followed by whole rests. So we're going to tap our toes. You're going to play right along with me with our E. Thumb and first finger. Here we go. Anchor up. Down, up, ready, set. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So that is our E. And you can rewind this and play this video as much as you want with E. Is tonguing at the beginning of the note really important? Yes. Now we can get a sound without tonguing. We did earlier, right? That's how we started playing clarinet. But if we start with our tongue on there, we're going to actually end up with a really clear sound on everything. It'll make life easier later. If we don't tongue, it's going to make life a little bit harder. So we're going to practice tapping on that reed. And again, go like that to the tip of your tongue. Then you can feel it because it's hard to know what's going on inside your mouth. All right. So we did our E on number 1. We're going to move on to number 2. Number 2, we have one note lower, which is D. And what's really nice on clarinet is your fingerings are very logical. So this was E, thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 1, 2 is your D. Now we want to make sure our second finger isn't going on this hole. It's going on the second hole, okay? And we want to make sure we're not using our third finger by accident because we need to make sure our third finger is ready for that third key one because we're going to have multiple notes, okay? So we've got D, thumb, 1, 2, double check. You can check your Cheerios. Is your thumb pointed at the ceiling? Not this way to the side. All right, so we've got our D. All right, so the chapstick, anchor up, baby dimples. All right, we'll play our D. Here we go. Down, up, ready, set. Number 2. Very nice. We're going to try that one more time. Number 2, so thumb 1, 2 is our D. Chapstick. Push up. Make sure you've got enough mouthpiece in your mouth. Firm corners, pull that chin down. You pull that chin down, you have little baby dimples. All right, here goes. Number 2. Down, up, ready, set. Very nice. All right, did you tongue? So you want to make sure, again, every time we're starting with that reed, it's going to take a little practice and it might feel a little funny, and that's okay. The more we practice it, the easier it gets. But if we try not to do it, it's going to make life a little bit harder later. So we want to make sure we're always trying to tap that reed and pull that tongue back. T. Pull it back into our molars. All right, number 3, this song goes from E to D to E to D, which means we're going to be switching E, D, E, D. So what we're going to do first is we're going to sing this, and the reason we're singing it, it's not because we're in chorus, okay? Even if you're like, I don't have a great voice, that doesn't matter. We're never going to sing at a concert for band, but we're singing the note so it helps our brain remember what it sounds like and what note it is, and then our fingers are going to move to the fingering. So we're going to sing E and do the fingering for E, and then when we sing D, we'll do the fingering to D. So we're going to practice this first without having to worry about our air and our tongue. All right. That's what E sounds like. All right, here we go. We're singing note names and doing fingers. Down, up, ready, notes and fingers, go. E, rest. Move your finger to cover for G. D. We're switching back. Next measure is E. E. Then last measure here is D. D. Now, if you can do that pretty easily, it's great to play it. If you need a little bit more practice, making sure you know which one is which and switching your fingers, or you want to rewind it and sing those notes and do your fingers again. If you can do that really well, then playing it will be a breeze, okay? All right, here we go. So I'm going to play this time, anchor up. Okay, I'm starting on E. Down, up, ready, set. Move my finger for D. Back to E. And back to D. Very nice. Did you tongue? Let's try it one more time. Make sure you tongue, okay? Then you can scratch right before you start. Scratch on the tongue, then you feel it. Here we go. Anchor up. Make sure our tongue's starting each note on the reed and then pulling back and out. Down, up, ready, set. Very nice. All right, we're going to move on to number 4. That has our third note, which is C. So C is your thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger. Now, if your fingers slide off and aren't quite covering a hole, see how I'm not quite covering the hole right there? Then it won't play. So we have to make sure we've got Cheerios on all of our fingers. You can press them down nice and firm. Eventually, you won't need to press down so hard. Your fingers will know where to go. We have to make sure we cover all of those holes. So if you're getting a sound like this, it's fuzzy sounding, probably means you're not covering a hole. And we want to make sure we have the our left hand, the correct hand on our clarinet. Because if we try to play our clarinet with our hand here, all these keys are in the way. So we want to make sure we're holding it correctly. All right, so C is thumb, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to try number 4. Here we go, anchor up. And this note sounds a little funny because we're just using the top half of our clarinet. When we eventually add our bottom half, it's going to sound a lot clearer. But we want to make sure we can do it with just the top half of our clarinet, because once we have the bottom, we have to worry about holding our clarinet up with our thumb. Okay, here we go, guys. Down, up, ready, set. Make sure you tap that reed with your tongue. Very nice. And you might need to pause this or rewind it back. Now, if you can get that C out really well, you can put your entire clarinet together. So I'm going to press down my bridge key. I'm going to twist with the bridge key held down. Make sure that's all my dots are lined up on the back. Add my bell. And then I could try all of my songs with my entire clarinet. Now, quick word to the wise. My thumb, you don't hold your clarinet like that. Your thumb goes underneath the thumb rest. When I play my clarinet, that's what my thumb is doing. Okay, I'm not holding here. That you need this, you're gonna need, once we start using this bottom part of your clarinet, you need all of your fingers for both hands. Okay, so you can play all of these songs. That was my C. My C sounds a lot nicer with the rest of my clarinet, but we want to make sure we can get it on the top half of our clarinet first. All right, guys, so you have practicing with the tuner, some I play, you play, making sure that we're doing everything right with our embouchure, and then numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the top joint of your clarinet. If you feel really comfortable, you can get those notes out clearly, then you can add your entire instrument. Just make sure you press down that bridge key. Happy practicing, everybody.